Okay, what? Okay, let's see. Okay, it's... Oh, fuck, it's 4:55.
Put that over here. That don't go over here. That don't go over there.
I'll get... just 1 second. I'll get it in just a second. How much do I have left on 57?
What do you mean how much you got left? You see how many pallets you see on that truck?
Well...
That's how much you got left. How long is that going to take you?
I mean, how many? There's at least like 6 or 7 more pallets in there. At least 5 more minutes.
Yeah, you're supposed to be unloading 12 in an hour. So far, you've done 12 in 6, 7.
Well, it's been up. I've had so many spills. You know, we had that Black Hawk down over in aisle 19, and I helped out Curtis pick up his. I had to do a chip load.
All I'm hearing right now, County, is excuses.
I know. Excuses.
We got a driver in that truck waiting to go home to his family, and you've been holding him up all day. You're on thin ice, County.
I know I'm going, okay? Please, I'm trying my best.
Get on the lift and make sure to follow safety protocols and OSHA regulations.
I know. Yeah, let's see. CN017. I'll be right back. Fucking asshole, I can't stand this place. Hey Mark, you checking out?
Yeah.
Have a good one. I still got another. I gotta finish this live load on 57.
What?
I got the. Never mind. Oh, okay, alright. Oh, put it in. Okay, make sure it's all squared. Okay, let's shift to the left. Alright, put it in. Okay, fuck. Let's get back over there. Don't see anybody coming. Okay.
Watch
oh my god!
Watch where
Richard! Sorry, oh shit. Let me help you pick up this box.
Why are you driving around with the load all up in the air like that?
I was trying to get I'm trying to get out of here, Rick. Now, can we just pick up this stuff and build the pallet back up? I'm trying to get home. I got to let my dog out.
Gotta let your dog out. Okay, well, I got 2 kids at home. I don't have time to be sitting around here helping you rebuild a pallet. You dropped it, now you rebuild it.
Well, it's your pallet. Are you going to help me? I'll help you build it.
No, I'm going to leave it right here. And if anybody asks me, I'll tell them to look at the security footage and watch Clark County driving around with his forks up.
Oh, is this because it's 4:58? Fuck you, Richard. Get the fuck out of my way.
Fuck you, County.
Fucking asshole.
I hope they fire you.
Oh, they're not going to fire me. You can go fuck yourself.
Oh, well, they're going to fire you after I tell them you just told me to go fuck myself.
Oh, no, your word against mine.
I'm going to pop you right. Kiss her, little bitch.
Oh, fuck off, Richard. I'm picking up your pecan sandies. Ugh. Oh!
Ever fucking talk to me like that again, you got something else you want to say to me, you say it to my motherfucking face knowing that this is what's going to happen. Next time, I'm not going to be so nice and you're going to find your fucking jaw right there on the curb right outside.
Okay, Mr. Richard, I'm sorry.
That's right. Go fuck.
Oh, God. Damn. Oh, fuck. Alright, let me just scan this badge. This is the worst day of my life.
You look horrible.
Well, fuck you. You're coming in for second shift.
Yeah, what's wrong with second shift? What, you guys leave us? You guys leave us a bunch of trailers like every single day? Do your job. Do your job.
I did everything I could. I did my 12 cases. I did my 12 pallets an hour, okay? Fuck off. Who are you anyway? You just clock in. You're 5 minutes late anyway.
I hope you get hit in the kiss again.
Oh, fuck you. Okay. Time to go home to my boring ass life. Oh, what's this? Hello?
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 Clark?
Hi, is this Beverly?
Is this Clark County?
Yeah, this is Clark County. How are you?
I'm doing well, son. Thank you.
I'm just now getting off work. What are you up to?
Oh, that's perfect. I was hoping that you might want to come over to my place tonight. You know, I got a couple of sloppy, wet, loose holes.
You have a couple of sloppy. Both of them are sloppy and wet.
Well, I mean, one of them's sloppy and wet with a little bit of diarrhea I had earlier, but yes.
I'm not really into shit play, Beverly, but I'm interested in the other one.
Oh, well, I mean, if you wanted to take me out or something, I'm not gonna let you just slip right into my loose hole.
Oh.
The
I kind of
offer's
thought that
there.
was...
Well, I mean, if you wine me, dine me, 69 me, that's fine.
Oh. I see. Yeah, I don't see why not. I heard there was a good Italian restaurant downtown.
That sounds lovely.
La Traviata.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the spaghetti warehouse.
Oh, we can go to the spaghetti warehouse. That's fine. That's a lot cheaper anyway. I shouldn't. I
Well, I
thought
mean,
maybe.
if you're offering to take me to the fancier place, we should go to the fancier place.
Well, I only said that because I thought you wanted to be impressed. But once you said that, you would be okay with spaghetti warehouse, maybe we should go there.
What?
Well, they have a good happy hour.
A good what?
Happy hour.
Happy hour?
Yeah.
Like Howard Stern?
No, hour like time.
Okay, well, just let me know when you're here. I'll start getting ready. I'll put on my perfume.
Okay, well, I need your address.
All right, let me know when you got a pen and paper, son.
Oh, you can text it to me if you do you
I
text?
can what? Do you have
You
a
can
pen and paper?
Just tell it to me. I'll get it down.
Do you have a pen and paper though?
No, I'm just going to see, like, sometimes when the people on the phone say, "Do you have a pen and paper?" you just say yes, and then you just try to memorize it in your head, and then you type it into your phone, or you don't. So that's what I'm going to do here.
Clark, I'm way too insecure for that. I'm not going to be confident that you remembered my address.
Oh, well, I don't have any paper. The only thing I have around here is a fast food wrapper.
Oh, you eat fast food? That's not going to work.
What? You don't eat fast food?
Well, they say fast food makes your semen taste gross.
I don't think my semen tastes gross.
Well, I mean, if you picked up a pineapple before you came over and ate the whole thing, that's supposed to make it sweet.
Oh, I mean, I would be interested in doing that for you. But would you be interested in, ever going to a fast food restaurant like Clorksy with me, or is that not?
No.
You're never going to eat fast food, or?
No, just Spaghetti Warehouse. I thought that's where we were going.
Well, we're going to Spaghetti Warehouse. Maybe I was being presumptuous in thinking there would be more than one date. But, like, would you ever go to fast food with me if we had a second date or something?
I mean, I think we should just see how the first date goes. I'm not
Okay.
sure how well,
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not sure what to... You seemed like a nice young man on the bus.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot. We've only spoken on the bus so far. But okay. Well, Beverly, you just give me your address and I'll be there in a few minutes. Maybe, I don't know where it is. Could be a while.
All right. Do you have a pen and paper?
Oh my God.
Cletus, go! Oh, please excuse Cletus. Sit the fuck down!
It's okay.
Go! He's not gonna hurt you, I promise, but he's just a big asshole.
Yeah, he's a big dog.
They say that a person's character is, you should judge it by your dog's reaction to them, and he doesn't like you that much, but then again, he doesn't like anybody.
Maybe he just has high standards for whoever is going to, win the heart of his mommy.
His mommy? I'm not his mommy. His mommy's in a pound.
Well, some people think of their pets as children, I guess I sort of do.
I'm not one of them.
Ah, well, that's okay.
We don't do that in this house. My children are all grown.
Yeah, I guess it's more of like a generational thing, I'm younger and I grew up having dogs, so it was always kind of like having a built-in best friend, But my brother.
Okay, well, I'm going out thought was the young man who has a canine brother.
Well,
Never heard of
yeah,
that before.
it's sort of, yeah. Well, maybe someday we will show you a picture of him because he's long dead.
Oh.
Yeah, he passed away. My father came and picked me up from school and said that he was being put down as we spoke.
Oh, no. Are you serious? That happened?
Yeah, didn't get to say goodbye.
Clark, I'm so sorry.
Well, you know, it's whatever, but are you ready for Spaghetti Warehouse?
Yes, Spaghetti Warehouse, yes. Do you think this outfit looks fine? I thought the silk might have been a little too much, but I haven't been out in years.
Can you spin?
A little bit. My hip doesn't work that well, but look at this.
Wow, you look stunning.
Is my cellulitis peeking out of my dress?
I don't see any cellulitis.
No,
I see a little bit of liver spots on your hands and in the exposed skin, and you have a lot of moles on your neck. But
my late husband always used to call those my love spots.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you run your tongue over any of my liver spots, it just drives me wild. So that might be a little hint for tonight.
Okay, I'll file that in my head. Likes licking liver spots. Check. All right. Well, here, let me get the door for you. Okay. All right, you get in there. All right.
Can you hold my hand and hand me my cane?
Of course, yes. That's all right. What kind of music do you like to listen to?
Oh, everything. A little bit of Roy Orbison and
You like to all right? Let's listen to some Roy Orbison while we go
Beach
to
Boys.
Yeah, I'll get it queued up for us.
You ever hear of the Beatles?
Yeah, I like the Beatles. I guess.
I wasn't sure if they were quite your generation really wouldn't probably even remember that.
Well, you'd be surprised at how mainstream the Beatles are. Honestly, you'd be surprised it's not that
the
special.
Beatles mainstream. The Beatles haven't been mainstream since the '60s, honey.
Okay, whatever you say. They're sort of like a pop culture icon, but yeah, I guess you're right. They're not that popular no more. Everybody knows all the lyrics to Hey Jude and every single song they ever wrote. Everybody that you could ever ask. But yeah, you're right. '60s, that was it.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's quite okay.
Alright, well, I know it's kind of odd to go to the movies on a Thursday night because it's a school night. Technically, I have to work in the morning, but I thought it would be fun if we would go to see this new movie, Dining with Smorksy 3.
Oh, I've never seen the first two, but
I haven't either. I thought that might be fun to go see, something random.
Well, whatever. You're in charge of the date. I'm just along for the ride. It just feels so good to be out with such a young, handsome man.
Well, I mean, it was all your doing. You reached out to me on the bus, and it was your,
It was my loose hole that drew you in, wasn't it?
You're right. Yeah, it was the loose hole.
The spell of my loose hole.
No, it was, to be honest with you, it was just that I don't have many friends, and you're the only person that was ever really nice to me so far, so I thought, why not?
Well, I don't know how that's possible, Clark. You're such a sweet young man.
I just think people don't really understand me. The people at work are kind of assholes, girls my age don't really like me, so,
Well, the girls your age are really missing out on such a sweet young man.
Oh, well, thank you.
I think I understand you, Clark.
Oh, well, it's good.
I hope nobody here thinks I'm your mother. I mean, wouldn't that be something? I have to correct them and say, actually, this is my potential lover.
That would be funny because, you don't think of people that are old enough to be, let's be honest, my grandmother, too.
Don't remind me. You never ask a woman how old she is.
How old are you, by the way?
Never ask a woman!
Oh,
93.
Yeah, that's pretty old. Yeah, my mom is like in her 60s. No.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord. By the time your mother was born, I was doing enough cocaine to kill an elephant.
Really? You did cocaine?
Oh, of course I did. I've done everything up there is to know. Oxycontin.
That's so cool. I've never done any drugs, ever.
Oh, you've never
I drink.
You've never done a drug.
No, one time I smoked one of those candy cigarettes, but it didn't light up.
Well, straight edge. I'm not quite the partier these days, but, I do like to have a good glass of wine.
No, yeah, I will certainly take a sip of the alcohol now and again.
Well, that's a drug.
Well, I know, but I mean, no, nothing that you put up your nose, or that you inhale, or that you shoot up your veins, nothing like that.
Oh, you better watch out for the stuff you shoot up your veins, because that shit'll take you quick.
Oh, I can only imagine the type of people that would do that. Honestly, I think I put together a petition that I got some people to sign, and it says that if people overdose on heroin and have to receive medical attention, that they should get criminal charges against them.
I have no clue why that's not the case, and the fact that we once lived in Trump's America and he did not make that law. I mean, we're wasting valuable personnel that could be helping somebody who's 400 pounds and had a heart attack.
I know.
But instead, they're responding to a drug addict. I just don't know why somebody who has to overdose on heroin, why they can go get Narcan and be back at home the same day. I mean, isn't it illegal?
I completely agree. And it's like they are possessing a criminal substance, so why aren't they being charged with holding that criminal substance?
And it makes no sense. When I was using heroin, I was never dumb enough to overdose. But of course, we didn't have what they have today.
And nowadays they want the stuff that kills them. They want that stuff.
That's what I saw on the CBS 60 Minutes report.
Me too.
You watch CBS?
Of course, they have some of the best shows of all time.
Artie, you better take that cock out right now, because that's just gonna be so hot and heavy.
Alright, go ahead for it.
Just imagine I'm Dan Rather.
Oh. I'm not gay though, Beverly.
Yes,
so I'm imagining it's Barbara Walters.
Why aren't you imagining it's me?
Well, of course I know it's you, but you told me to imagine Dan Rathers, but I'm not gay, so I'm imagining Barbara Walters, but I would rather just it be you.
Have you ever had a blowjob with no teeth?
Can't say that I have, but it feels incredible. Oh my god! I'm coming instantly.
No, you're not. Put it back.
Oh my god, you're edging me. You're edging me.
Of course I am.
Oh my god, Beverly,
I want the biggest load I can possibly get inside of me later.
Beverly, you are going to get that fucking loose hole absolutely filled like a jelly donut. And after we are done, it will be leaking out of you like the juiciest cream pie you ever saw.
Baby, fiddle me up faster than Regis Philbin fills up a room full of normies. Do you have a senior discount?
Let me check. Let me get my man. We're already late. Can we just pay full price,
Beverly?
Beverly?
No! Hold on. I'm pretty sure we get a 10% senior discount here.
But I like to... fuck, he's already gone. Beverly, I like to watch the trailers. That's part of how you find out what other movies to go see.
Well, why are we going to the movies just to see trailers for other movies?
Well, you get to see the movie too, but they show trailers before the movie so you can come back to see other movies. God damn it, where did we go?
I thought you were taking me to see this movie, not to see the trailers.
Well, I want to see the trailer. God, Beverly, I want to see the movie too. Hey, can you get back up? We're already missing the trailers. Okay.
It's supposed to be 10% off.
I got my manager, and he said that you have to present your AARP card.
Okay, well, I have one here.
Oh my god.
Let me
I have
find
to-
it. Let me go through my pocketbook.
Oh my god. Can we please just pay full price? Can't you just look at her?
What?
She's 93.
My bad, sorry, sir, that's
Okay.
just the rules.
Here's my AARP card, and let me ask you, son. Do you offer a military discount?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Don't tell me you were in the military.
Well, my husband was. I get his benefits.
Oh, fuck.
Let me ask my manager.
No, fuck, please. Oh my god, he's gone again. When he comes back, no other discounts. We will pay full price for whatever he comes back with, okay? Now
What?
go ahead and get the ID out just in case. Do you have your husband's military ID?
Get my what?
Get your husband's ID out.
I don't have my husband's ID.
Well, they're going to ask for it for the discount.
Why would they ask? Why would I have any reason to lie?
Well, I don't know.
They're not gonna ask for it.
They might.
Okay, we do have a military discount of 5%, with ID.
I thought it was supposed to be 10%.
He just asked the manager, Bev.
Can I speak to the manager?
Oh, for fuck's sake, we're going to miss all the trailers!
Clark, relax. We're not gonna miss anything. The movie hasn't even started yet.
But fuck.
Hi, I'm the manager. Can I help you? My name's Stacy.
Hello?
Hi.
Stacy? Stacy, you said?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Stacy.
Very nice to meet you.
I'm Beverly.
And what seems to be the problem, Beverly? Is there anything I can do to make your...
Yes, I would like my 10% discount for being a senior citizen, and 10% discount
Okay.
for active military.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we already have you
I
squared
don't want to
away
hear
for
it.
the 10...
Unfortunately, my husband was a war hero.
Well, yeah, if you just let me take one second to explain the policy.
There's no policy to be said. You offer a 10% military discount, and I'm the wife of the military.
She's saying that they don't, Beverly. The
No,
policy
she's
is
not. She's saying that she's going to ring us up for 20% off. Now, how much is it?
Well, we have you rung up for
Here's $6.
two adult tickets, and we have one senior discount, and we have a 5% discount, so it's a total of 15% discount, and the total is $25.96.
Okay, $6 you said? Okay.
Here, just take my card. I got it, Beverly. Come on. We're going to miss everything.
Are you sure
Thank
she got
you.
the discount?
Yes, you got your
Thank
discount.
you
Let's
for
get in
all
here.
your help.
Yep, come on. Let's go, come on. All right, right this way.
Hang on, I gotta rip your ticket, sir. Sir?
Come on.
Look at the ass on that teenager.
You really do like him young, don't you?
Well, a little bit.
Okay, right here. Get quiet. Come on. Coming soon to a theater near you. The tale of one man's journey from baby to Congress to marrying his mother?
The world is never gonna see us the way we see us. You're gonna have to change it all. Art house.
You're right, Mother. I'm going to have to change everything. He knew that no one would accept their love. I want to change the world. I love my mother. But the world was not ready for their love.
The true story of incest for all and all for incest. Coming July 23rd.
I think that looked fucking terrible. I don't think we should stay and support movies that have anything to do with this content.
And this is what you were so excited about seeing that you felt the need to rush me.
Hello and welcome to MOATAIF. We've got a couple interesting discussions for you today, folks. Well, one interesting discussion, but before we get to that, there's one thing that I wanted to share with you and, of course, the viewers as well, listeners. it's been an ongoing theme that I've been pissing nonstop. You know, there was a time when I did the piss log of all the times that I got up in the middle of the night to piss. And, you know, the time, you know, we talked about how everybody's always covered in piss. Well, there's now a new addition to the story. This morning, as we were getting ready to get in the shower, Taylor goes to turn on the shower, and as she's walking, she steps and slips in piss.
Are you serious?
Yeah, steps and slips in my piss and slides
Why'd you-
into the shower.
Oh my god! Why was so much of your piss on the floor?
I am shocked that there was that much piss on the floor from me. I honestly can't believe it.
How did it
But-
end up there? You just not eating
Well,
very well?
I'm telling you, because I get up when I'm up in the middle of the night and it's 3 a.m. and I'm trying to do anything but piss, but I have to piss. So I get up and I go to the bathroom, and you know I can't explain it, but it's because sometimes the urinations that I'm having are just maybe like a tablespoon of pee, if you were to like gather it all up, maybe even a teaspoon sometimes, and it just dribbles out, and sometimes I can't even describe it. Sometimes it's because, you know, if you don't have enough force behind it, if there's not enough
Yeah, it
liquid,
just
you can't get a
dribbles.
full stream. So not only does it sometimes just dribble right onto the floor or right onto the rim of the toilet or whatever, but apparently sometimes it's just shooting out directly to the right. And I'm not even noticing it because it's fucking 3 a.m. So now I'm always having to, you know, I've already gone to sleeping without shorts on because I couldn't get them. I would get back in the bed and have piss all over my shorts. So I've already gone to
So now
sleeping
it's all
without
over the,
shorts on.
Blankets.
And now it's just, well, no, because now I've gotten into the habit, because it used to then get on the blankets. Now I've gotten into the habit of wiping the tip of my dick off with the bottom of my shirt after I piss and
Oh,
walk
good
back into the
Lord.
bathroom. So now it's like my shirt is just soaked in piss
So
a little
did Taylor
bit.
know she was slipping in piss?
Yes.
Or was it... Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
she knew. She got pissed. She was
Oh, I
like,
imagine
"Why?"
that was
She
a-
slipped. She's like, "Why did I just slip in your piss?" Yeah, it was like enough to, you know, make a note of so that I could talk about it, because it was
What was your
it was truly
reaction?
comical. Well, of course I was embarrassed, but I instantly knew that, yeah, it must just be flying out in all random odd pissing directions when I'm getting up there. I mean, because I can see it sometimes, like when it's like 9:30 and and I still have the light on, and I can see that it's just, you know, it's not even dribbling out in a straight flow. It's like one goes out to the left, 3 are flying out to the right, 1 spraying straight up.
Sounds like
It's
you got
crazy.
some blockage up there in your pee hole.
It brings us to a discussion that has sort of, you know, come up, not really that seriously, but it just is in the back of your head. I didn't partake in smoking marijuana until I was 23, 22, 21.
I think we were... I
Something.
think we were 22.
Yeah, that sounds right.
We're 25 now. I think we were 22.
Now, obviously, some people go and do it when they're younger. I mean, there were obviously people that we went to school with that at least pretended that they smoked weed, or at least smelled like weed, and most likely smoked weed. I always looked down on it.
I
mean,
did
you know,
too.
I always looked down on underage drinking too. I know that even my co-host and best friend partook in underage consumption. Sometimes everybody does. I'm not passing any judgment. Everybody does. But
Even
when
on
I
the
was
Austin
in
Zach
school-
00 wiki, you have a thing about how the old co-host how you disapproved of him underage drinking and smoking weed.
Yeah. Which I didn't update. I think I updated his page, but I didn't take that out because I'm like, it's, you know. But it's interesting how the dynamic has changed, because I mean, at one point, even as an adult, I kind of stopped talking to because she started smoking weed. Not
Right.
You know, I guess maybe I'll censor her name, but but you know, since I'm just like, yeah, she smokes weed, I guess it's not a big deal, but
Yeah, we're outing her.
right. But you know, I don't know why, but I think it was the legality of it and the fact that it's not legal, more so than the fact that it's, you know, how dare they like do drugs, because obviously I instantly, when presented with a serious opportunity to consume marijuana, I took it. But I was an adult, you know what I mean? We were
Right.
I mean, maybe I've matured since then to say that, like, yeah, I wasn't a very mature adult at 22, but I was certainly an adult, and I think that was a wise decision. I don't know if it was a wise decision, but the reason that we're talking about this, I realize I still haven't really said the topic, is when, how, and if you should introduce or not. Obviously, I don't think anybody would just flat out introduce their kids to smoking marijuana, but how do you, you know, and where that's sort of what we're talking about. And there's no doubt it's a taboo discussion, because in general, I believe that children should not partake in drugs, period. So I feel like the
I
true
agree with
answer
you. I
is
think that
they have to be 18 minimum.
yeah, well, I mean, the average age, the age now, like if you live in a state where marijuana is legal, it's 20. You have to be 21.
Yeah.
So it's just like alcohol.
Well, and even tobacco is in Ohio, 21 now.
Yep. Anything tobacco or vape related is 21. And you know, I think the decision to start smoking later in life was a good one, because if I found that any time before college or in college, I wouldn't have got anything done.
Yeah.
It really would have just been like, I would have been really unfocused. But I never really wanted to partake in it because a lot of my family smoked my entire life, and I would notice that they would be like, okay, well, we're going to go to the back room, and then they'd come back, they would smell, they would just be stupid, like unresponsive. I'd be like, hey, like, can we do this? Like, huh? And I just associated it with like just the thing that made my mom fucking dumb.
Right.
But then obviously I didn't realize it was like, it really is like a consciousness expanding drug.
True.
But I think discovering it later in life made me really, I think you need to be like mature to really get any real use out of it. But I don't know we started talking about this earlier, and I don't know what started getting us talking about it. But I think it was because I was telling you, like, Abigail and I have had discussions about how, like, because it's like, you know, obviously, we were talking about being a parent who smokes.
Yes.
Like, how are you going to be a parent who smokes? You know, you were like, can you just go to the basement, get high real quick, and come back and be like, hey, I'm just taking my medicine, and they'll be like, oh my God, yay!
Right.
Because they know you're going to come back and be like, hey, you want to play ball?
Right,
And just be like so excited about everything and just being goofy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, there are wine moms that exist, and these women are always drunk, like nothing like a glass of wine at noon to calm the nerves.
And I really think, like, when you make the comparison to alcohol, because in a lot of ways it's wild how legal alcohol is, and not only legal but just like socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild that it's socially acceptable to like do a photo shoot with your best friend wherein you're both like you both have like Bud Lights in your hand. You know what I mean? That it's wild to me that that's like so acceptable that it's so commonplace for people to drink, or even to love drinking, or to get completely fucked up and wasted all the time, that you can like have a photo of yourself in it, and like that there's nobody even thinks anything of it.
Right. When it's much more inebriating than marijuana too.
And so like when you make that comparison, it's instantly like, oh yeah, well, yeah, then it should be okay. Like, not okay, but it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're able to make that choice and can still properly take care of your child, you know, you shouldn't do it and then like drive your kids somewhere. Like, you know, you shouldn't take those kinds of risks, I guess. But yeah, I guess then because it also stemmed from like the other night, Taylor doesn't partake. And the other night she was like lighting an incense in bed, and she was like turned away from me and just like flicking the lighter over and over again. And I was laying there, and I knew she wasn't smoking weed, but as I was laying there, I was like, wow. And I like convinced myself that she was, and like, I knew she wasn't, but I'm like, it seems like she is. Yeah. And it made me sad. And that's when I started thinking about it. Yeah, that's when I started being like, just because I think I know how like I guess quote unquote dependent I am on it, that it would make me sad for her to also be that dependent on it. But then at the same time, it would be cool as fuck to just sit around and do it with her. You see, so it's like it's this weird, and so then I started thinking like, well, when I have a kid around, at someday, is that when I have to like give it up? Is there a time when you have to give it up? But people don't ever ask that about like drinking beer or, having a box of wine in the fridge at all times.
Well, I mean, I think it would be, if they were dependent on drinking the beer every day, I think that would be where like you would draw the line, I guess. But I think if you could, like, control it better... Because, like, my mom would just, like, smoke at the end of the night. Like, my mom wouldn't, like, be high all day. Some days she would be. Like, some days she would be stressed out and be like, I'm just going to go to my room. Not really feeling up for anything today. And then she would just stay high all day. But that was, like, pretty rare, I guess.
Well, that's good, at least. Because I feel like you definitely have to be able to... strike a balance between, and even in not even striking a balance, but also just being able to still be a parent while you're in that state.
Yeah, I feel like in that situation, like, parenting would always come first, and then if you have some, like, extra free time or something, or maybe at the end of the night, you're just like, man, I'm just gonna get stoned and eat, like, a fucking big bowl of cereal.
Yeah, the kids are in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just get stoned before they wake up on, like, Saturday mornings and just watch cartoons with them.
Watch cartoons with them. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
I fantasize about that shit all the time.
I was thinking, I recently pulled out my Courage of the Cowardly Dog DVD set, my bootleg
classic
set. And now I learned in 2018, at the time, there wasn't a complete set. So it was, you could only buy bootleg, but they did release a complete set in 2018. So now
you know what? I think I saw that because I was like, oh my god, all those fucking years we watched this fucking bootleg version of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
And I love that, like, some of them are, like, the title cards are in French because, like, that's the only, like, port that the guy could find of them. But I was watching them, and some, I kind of, because every time I try to watch Courage the Cowardly Dog, I always watch the first couple discs. And so, like, and they're all the classic episodes, like the ones that we all, like everybody that watched it remembers well, like King Ramses and all,
right.
the lady in the bathtub and all that shit. But I was trying to watch like the later season, and they're kind of bad. But the whole time I'm like, wow, I can't wait to like watch this with my children.
I'm not sure I would show my kids Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, me and Abigail talk about it, and we're like, because Abigail really wants to be conscientious, because I'm like, I don't want to buy our kids a phone, and I don't want to get them all this stuff, and she's like, well, we also don't want to make them like extremely different from their peers so that they get bullied. Like, they have to fit in to some extent. Like, we can't just shield them from all popular culture. And I'm like, yeah, well, how about like if we watch five cartoons, like 4 out of the 5 are theirs, and then we get to just like put on like, okay, today we're watching Rugrats, and just right. I want to show them like the shit I used to watch too, or like, well, and that's today we're watching Hanna-Barbera.
That's interesting because certainly to me, like, my kids are gonna know all of that. My kids are gonna grow up watching Full House. Period.
Oh yeah, yeah, Full House. That should be mandatory.
And it's like, yeah, that's why, like, that's kind of why, like, I got I got mad at Beverly Hills for suggesting that anybody outside of the 60s wouldn't know who the Beatles are. Because, like, people exist like that.
Oh, I know.
Like, and not necessarily about the Beatles, but they'll be like, oh, do you even know what a cassette tape is?
There
like,
used
shut
to
the
be a
f- I hate
time
it.
where people didn't have cell phones.
Right, and so like my kids, it's like I want you know, in my head I'm like I want to just completely emulate my exact childhood just without the divorce and the
Right.
anxiety and the trauma and all of that. Because I feel like, you know, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 13, you know, and I didn't, I mean, I wanted one a little bit before then, but I didn't need one. I didn't go anywhere without my parents, you know, I was always with my parents. That's what you need it for when you're that age. And you know, I would hang out with my friends still, you know, and eventually made more friends. We never did drugs together until we were 20. We didn't drink together ever. Ever. I don't think we have ever drank together. Have we? Yeah. At the Adele concert in Auburn Hills, we all had some
I think
alcohol.
you
at
maybe
the
had like
hotel.
one Red's apple ale.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
it's
even
like
consider that drinking. We've never got. I don't know if you've even ever gotten drunk.
I wouldn't say so.
That's
I've
crazy.
certainly been tipsy.
That's
And
crazy.
I've certainly gotten like to the point where I certainly like I'll go out and buy a drink like at a restaurant these days, not often, but every once in a while. I'll get a drink and enjoy it, but then I'm like sitting there like, oh my god, I'm fucking burning up. Like I need.
That still
I'm
happens?
instantly like, oh yeah.
Damn.
And everybody says, well, that's just when you get another drink, but I don't want one. I'd rather have a Dr. Pepper. You know, like my mouth is still, you know, childish, I guess.
You're right.
But that, I think, because it's like, I think what we're ultimately getting at, though, is that, like, you know, especially when we went to DARE, like you were saying earlier, DARE introduced me to all kinds of things that I didn't know existed.
Yeah, I felt like we were pretty sheltered at Northwestern, you know, like this like country school or whatever. Like, we only had a few kids from the city who, like, people who smoked weed were just like the city kids who everybody was just kind of
Right.
like, they're trashy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But DARE, I telling you earlier, I will go on record and say this, that, because I think it's fucking hilarious, that I will never forget this. In 7th grade, Deputy fucking Brent, our DARE officer for our entire career at Northwestern, he was giving us a slideshow about all these, like, different drugs, and the day came for, like, the day we would talk about hallucinogens, and he starts talking about LSD. And immediately, I'm, like, intrigued, because he starts off with saying, like, people who do LSD report being able to see sounds and hear colors. It distorts your perception of everything. And I'm like, that sounds amazing. I'm like, how the fuck could you hear a color?
Right.
And I'm just like, and then, like, I didn't listen to anything else he said. I'm like, blue sounds like, I wonder what blue sounds like. That's crazy. Like, that sounds like completely just amazing. And I went home and I told my parents about, like, the DARE thing or whatever. I was like, you know, I think if I were going to do any drug, I would do acid.
That's so funny.
And they were just like, oh, well, all right. like, what are you going to say? They didn't say no or anything. They're just like, oh, well, be safe when you're older.
Well, it had the exact opposite effect for me. Not necessarily about LSD, but just about drugs in general. But I had already been sort of brainwashed by my mom. Her drug abuse resistance education was just to watch Intervention with me, and I loved it.
I
loved
watched
watching
Intervention too.
And so I was already like, I will never do drugs ever. And so then learning about them at DARE just reinforced, I'm like, yeah, I would never be that person. And now here I am in 2021 hosting a podcast asking how I can get my kids to smoke weed.
Oh my god.
My God!
Well, I mean, I feel like I was devastated to find out that fucking Deputy Brent, who at the very least told me, or told my
Everybody.
class that he didn't drink, I was devastated to find out that, like, what, your mom had, like, had drinks with him before?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because he, at one point, was on the actual, you know, the beat as an officer, you know, as a sheriff's deputy, and they, you know, come into the hospital, and obviously she got to know him through doing that, and at one point, while he was the DARE officer, maybe because I was like, yeah, Deputy Brent is the DARE officer, he came over for dinner, and while there, he had a beer.
Deputy fucking Brent.
Yeah, it was wild. It was like truly scandalous. Cause he made a huge point of it. Like, I have never even had a sip of alcohol.
Oh, so he did that for you too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He told us all.
Oh, that
yeah.
little bitch.
Yeah, he's a liar. I loved Dare, and I just remembered this moment.
You
with
loved
Cody
Dare?
Loft. I loved Dare.
Oh wow, that's weird.
I loved Dare. I could still sing that entire fucking anthem that they made us sing at the graduation. I spoke at our Dare graduation. It was a prepared speech that they made us, but Deputy Brent chose me to do it because I was so like horny for Dare. And there was a Dare box. I don't know if you remember this in your class, but there was a Dare box where you could submit anonymous questions.
Yeah, I do
about
remember that.
drugs or about and we put it because we had seen Cody Loft and I had seen Heaven Stumpf pop a pill.
What?
Now it was probably a prescription pill that she was allowed to
Oh my
have
God.
because she just like openly did it in the middle of class. You know what I mean? And we wrote down so he's opening up the box and he's reading them, and some are like, how do I tell my mom to stop smoking, something like that, or like how do I, shit like that. What does LSD stand for? And then
like you would know.
He opens one and it says, "Heaven pops pills." That's all it says. And he reads it out loud, just like that. He goes, "Heaven pops pills. Would anybody like to talk about that?" And she's literally like, she's literally looking all around like, what the fuck? Oh, I was.
Were you and like Cody laughing?
So funny. I can't remember if we laughed. I want to say that we kept our cool because otherwise, like, it's obvious who did it. But I want to believe that we kept our cool.
I can't believe
My
you
God,
ratted
it was
on
the
her.
Funniest fucking thing ever. Heaven pops pill, and I hope they looked into it because it came from a place of like genuine, like, I think she just took drugs. That's what Dare did to me in 5th grade.
Oh my
when we first had
God.
it. Because for some reason we had Dare in 5th and like 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know why we had to have it twice. I guess they come back and teach you the hard drugs the second time.
I think that's what they did too. And I remember when I was like my freshman year of high school, I woke up with a really bad headache that day. And I had, one of those like I had like my sliding LG Rumor 2 with like the keyboard and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was texting at the time, I don't even know, kind of my girlfriend, kind of not, Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Which you would remember.
Kate Austin.
Kate Austin, which is, I don't know why I referred to her as that for so long. But I was texting her, and I was just like, oh man, I need some drugs. Really just meaning I need some ibuprofen because my head hurt. But for some reason, like, my parents never looked through my phone, but for some reason my dad did that day, and he confronted me about it. He's like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what? And he's like, what is that? And he like made me read it, and I was like, I just meant for a headache. And like from then on out, like my parents were like kind of skeptical. Like even before I smoked weed, my dad thought I was like doing drugs or whatever, just because I always seemed like somebody who's high.
Yeah, just in your like personality.
Yeah, I had to explain. I explained it to my coworker. I was like, yeah, my eyes are just kind of always closed. I kind of just always look like I'm high. And then he just starts laughing. He's like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I just thought he just thought I was always high.
Right, and now you have full clearance to go in high.
Oh yeah. They don't know the difference. Abigail can never tell when I'm high.
Yeah, that's the blessing of, I guess, chronic smoking.
Well, even when
if you have the right
I
personality,
always think I think I just come off as I'm just in a better mood.
Yeah.
But
I just am more open to actually speak and have a good time instead of just sit there existing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Would you let your kid? Because I think we got to choose, right? Parents got to choose. Would you let your kid go through DARE? Because I think I would, and then maybe use that as the opportunity to be like, yeah, I mean, what they teach you is a little extreme, but drugs are serious.
No, I would never have my kid go through DARE. I think it's fear mongering. I think it's a complete failure.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. I think I could educate my kids so much better about drugs.
I guess you're right, and I guess I don't want to be in the awkward, because I'm like, oh, well, it would be really awkward to like talk to your kid about drugs, but like I don't want it to be awkward to talk to my kid about anything.
No, me neither. I think when I'm not gonna hide from my kid, especially when he's like a teenager, even getting closer to 18. I don't know how I could possibly hide from him the fact that LSD changed my life. Like, I'm not gonna tell him to go out and do it, but I'd rather tell him like, look, there's this thing out there you wouldn't believe exists. you'll do it in time or whatever, and
you'll give him the whole Deputy Brent treatment.
Well, no, I'm gonna speak of it. I'm gonna speak of it.
Colors and
yeah, I'm gonna speak about it in like a
right.
It's just a realistic light, and I'm like, there's shit you should never do. We lost your grandmother to meth. You know what I mean? Don't ever do meth or crack, because that's why you don't know who your grandma is.
No needle drugs.
Yeah, just teach it. Just like, yeah, you can do some fucking acid in your day. Like, I think it'd be cool to just be like, oh man, my dad told me he did acid when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah,
because
like you think of it like, and you hear stories of like celebrities that did acid back in like the 60s and or 70s, and nobody thinks anything of it. It's like, yeah, he did acid.
Yeah, even psychedelics are becoming pretty normalized now. So by the time I have a kid who's like 16, 17, yeah, why not? But I don't... See, this all started too because Abigail was like, yeah, I think like on our kid's 16th birthday party, like we could give him a joint. And I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm not so sure about that. Like, I'm not going to give my kid weed, but it is kind of a rite of passage to smoke with your parents.
Yeah, I think like I would never, ever like supply my kid with drugs or weed. I would say just weed, because needless to say, drugs at all. But I would, even down to like alcohol, like I would not be the person that's like, I think it's better when they drink at home. Like, no, my kid will not drink. And if they do, I mean, that's fine. I'm not gonna be. They're gonna get a bottom spanking, but they'll be okay. Oh my gosh! You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I feel like this just speaks to our different upbringing or whatever. Because like I've smoked with both of my parents. I've gotten drunk with both of my parents. Like actually like drunk. It's a real bonding experience.
Yeah.
It's like
maybe when I'm like 50. Or like...
Yeah, imagine you're like 50 and like your kid's your age or whatever, and like you share your first joint together, and you're like, you know what? I've never opened up to like this to you, Billy. Right. And you guys have this like heartfelt discussion where you just talk about your life and everything like that. Like, it's beautiful.
Tell them about this podcast episode.
Yeah, if you remember it, yeah.
I'll never well, I mean, I guess I might forget.
You might forget MOATAIF episode 91.
We had this conversation, but there's no way. And I mean, listen. I hope that I live to be 104 and forget that we ever made this podcast. But I don't imagine myself forgetting it.
Oh well, I just meant this specific episode. Not the podcast in general.
It would be really sad to me to think like. Oh, I just like I got like so sad thinking about like, my kid comes home from college and like I just now have this epiphany and I'm like, oh yeah, like I used to have this YouTube channel like 30 years ago and like that much time had passed and it was like sad, and like I forgot about it, but like that's never gonna happen.
It's weird that you have that like feeling now, like the feeling you would have in the future. You just had it now.
Right, a feeling that I might have in the future under certain circumstances.
Right.
I just experienced it. Right, it's crazy. But I think that was a good conversation. I think, we basically just got to the point where it's like when the kid is old enough to make their own decisions, and if you've taught them to make safe decisions, then it probably wouldn't happen until they were 18, 16, 17, 18 anyway.
Yeah, hopefully older, because I would really want to just teach my kid, like, look, your brain's still developing.
Right.
Like our
Yeah, I'd like it to
our
be, like,
brains
20.
just stop developing.
Right.
Like
yeah.
they say 25 is when it stops. So like we're done. That's
Now
it.
We're on the decay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting because like I really feel like I've really felt this year like I'm like that's all the things that I can know. And like I know that's like not what it means when your brain stops developing, but I'm just like I know what I know. That's just like how I feel.
Kinda, yeah. I feel like I've like amassed a certain amount of wisdom about like how the world works.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like I can know more like book smart things or whatever,
Yeah.
but like
Well,
as
maybe
far
it's
as just I don't know.
maybe it's more so about the education that I'm receiving at OSU, which I feel like I really haven't had a. I mean, I feel I'm probably learning stuff, but I feel like I'm the same person who graduated Northwestern, just like older. Like I
really?
don't feel like I've gotten like. Maybe it's just imposter syndrome. I'm like already experiencing it before I get the degree, but I'm just like I'm already like I didn't earn that. You know what I mean? I'm like that didn't challenge me. Like I didn't really learn anything. I didn't have this like really cool experience where I'm like, wow, I'm so so I'm just like I know what I know, I guess.
That's definitely how I felt when I graduated. I feel like a completely different person from when I graduated high school. I feel like I know so much more. Much more about the world and just
well, certainly, yeah. I guess
just
more real world experience.
Well, not even the real world, just actual information too. I feel like,
yeah,
like, man, I was a fucking idiot. I didn't know that much. Like every year, I feel like I learn more and more.
True, but it's like I learn more and more about things that I'm interested in, but I feel like I'm still just like. I feel like I guess it's just.
You would
really
think that knowing more would come with
OSU.
like confidence that you know more.
Right.
But really, knowing more comes with just realizing like almost like how much you don't know. And realizing you're like, oh well, I don't know that much.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
So I usually undercut myself that much, and I'm like I beat myself up. I'm like, man, I'm fucking just so stupid. I don't know how I could do shit like this, or beat myself up for mistakes. And then I realize like I'm a lot more intelligent than my peers in most places I go to. So it's like, but it's not really a contest anymore. I don't think about it that often.
Mm-hmm. That's all you can do. You just have to exist and be the best you can be.
Yep.
Well, I think that was good, and folks. Until next time, we'll hit you up on episode 92. Stay moat.
Drink your prune juice, you old bat.